Leslie.
Welcome to the 420 Lifestyle Show. I'm Carly Marley.
And I'm Bcbudgal. And she's going to take this bong hoo, and I'm going to try, what flavor is this? Passion fruit. And it has 80 milligrams of THC and 50 of CBD. So, try that out. And they got a bunch of different flavors. These are all turned around. So, orange, cherry, and mango. So, test it out.
Tasty. We'll pack you a bong rip. So this weekend was a really fun weekend. We had, well, there was a cannabis hemp conference and expo, which I wasn't able to attend. We did have some people down covering it, including JMAC was down there getting lots of interviews. So we will be getting some footage to you guys of that awesome event that Salome put on this weekend. Salome, along with a lot of other people, but I know she's one of the brilliant masterminds behind it, and she puts a lot of time and work into it. So just had to mention her name because she pulled off a really impressive event from what I heard this weekend, and I know last year I had a really great time, and I wish I could have attended this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the panelists had to say this year. I know Jody was there on Sunday, which was really awesome. Saturday, however, Jody was the Grand Marshal of the Global Marijuana March in Toronto. So she led the rally down there. I can't remember the exact route of the path now that they were down, but they were downtown stopping the street. They had a really great turnout. She was right at the front of the crowd with awesome signs. She's starting a new Just Say No slogan campaign, but it's saying things like just say no to cannabis arrests, just say no to pot prohibition, and she's got all these lists to kind of turn the existing drug campaign on its head, which I think is really great. And we have a couple of videos from the Toronto GMM that we're going to share with you guys. So Alyssa will roll those ones now in any particular order. They're all short little clips. So I just wanted to give you guys, Jody shared these on her Twitter, and she's got lots of great photos. So if you guys are looking for some more photos, you can go and check out Twitter, Jody's Twitter. And here are some of the videos that we found from there. So I thought we would share them with you and enjoy and pack your bowls.
That was awesome. Oh, no worries. I guess he's the boss of the people. He's wearing the blue mid.
Hey. Hey. It's short. Do we got another one? We're gonna play another video for you guys here. I really like this one, and you can see the caption up on the screen there, eh, Alyssa? Okay, great, because I love the caption to this one. Awesome. And Jody shared this one, and she was saying that it was really great that, one of the chants they were doing is the Toronto Police Department is great today. They should treat us like this every day. Something along those lines. It was really great. But this is one of the chants that they were doing, and it was actually, I believe it was one of the Toronto Police Department. It's somebody, I believe, law enforcement who tweeted originally. So it's good kind of seeing that.
Yeah,
they recognize our fight.
Who loves cars?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so I think it's good seeing that, people who don't normally like having us here, we're recognizing our event and in a positive light, which is awesome. So. Really short video. We just wanted to show some of the stuff. We think we have one more short little clip to play. Yeah, this one's a little bit longer. This is a CTV clip, some coverage of the event. So, yeah. No, we didn't really get a lot of media this year in Vancouver, unfortunately. Maybe we'll publish a lot of articles and get their attention. Yeah.
Well,
I know there's an article up on Now
downtown
Magazine
streets this
by
morning,
Jeremiah,
part of the Global Marijuana March.
Cannabis supporters gathered at Queen's Park today calling for an end to pot prohibition. The group marched down Bloor Street to Yonge before circling back to Queen's Park. This event is aimed at educating the public of the use of medical marijuana. The Prince of Pot, Mark Emery, joined supporters. He's been taking part in this march for the past 15 years.
We're on the cusp of some major changes, and there's going to be arrests in that future, unfortunately. So we're here to demonstrate, protest, and at the same time celebrate our culture.
This is the 19th year this event has been held here in the city.
So that was some of the Toronto Global Marijuana March. And we also had a really great rally here. Smaller turnout in Vancouver, but really dedicated group of activists that came out with a lot of heart and conviction, this weekend. So it was a really great event overall. And we have Mr. David Malmo-Levine here to discuss it. Hello, how are you today?
I'm high, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm getting high. I'm not there yet. A few more bong rips and I'll be there. So what did you think of this year compared to other years?
It's always small in Vancouver, not big on marching here, at least the pot community isn't. We're more into starting farmers markets instead. That's our big event. But the signs look good and we smelled good. There was a lot of smoking along the parade route and there was, chanting and that sort of thing. So we sounded good, we smelled good, and we looked good, even though we were small. And we had fun.
That's good. So what kind of signs were you carrying? What was your overall message that you were trying to get across this year?
Well, I made some new signs for this year, my potfacts.ca signs. Hopefully somebody got some photos of them there. And then there was another great big sign that two strong young fellas carried, and it said, "Prohibition hurts teens more than proper cannabis use ever could." And so I was riding in the fire truck right in front of that sign, so I got a lot of good photos of that sign.
Tell us about the fire truck.
Oh, yeah, Don Briere brings a big yellow fire truck every year, and we use it to make speeches on, and it kind of it's a bizarre vehicle for a bizarre community, so it fit right in, and we had lots of signs and banners on that too. There was a couple weeds flags on that one. So there's a lot of different, we had many different vehicles in the flotilla. There was someone had strapped 2 joints onto their vehicle and 2 huge joints, like 10-foot long, 2-foot wide joints. And then Jer had decorated his car for the event too, and then there was another car or 2 all decorated. So we looked pretty good as we were driving down the road. You know, it's not as big as Toronto. Nothing ever is as big as Toronto's, but it was fun.
Coach Queen and I had a lot of fun decorating Jeremiah's car. It was a lot of fun. There is some popped balloons in the process, but overall it turned out okay.
Yeah, did the media focus on the pop balloons?
No,
There's
no.
two pieces of balloon found on the parade route. We've got to come down harder on these potters.
Yeah. I like the big pot leaf right on the front. I was trying to think of how to make it look more weedy because I had all this green stuff, and I decided to get painter's tape so it wouldn't ruin the car. And then I was just like, hey, I have an idea, and so I just drew a big green pot leaf.
You did that leaf. That was a good leaf.
Thank you. Overall, I think it was a really successful event. How were the cops this year?
Cops were all right this year. They didn't even make anyone conduct an impairment test. We didn't have any issues with them. We just kind of rolled out the vehicle, the fire truck, onto the beach, or as far as it would go till the pavement ran out on the beach, and then had our rally there. A couple parents came up and started complaining that their kids were within earshot of us, and I tried to explain to them that the truth would never harm their children, and that we cared about teens who were committing suicide, dying in car crashes and alcohol and drug overdoses, and that legalizing pot for teens is the best way to solve those problems. And if people genuinely cared about teens, they would care about those issues too, offer solutions or respect our solutions. But people are just easily intimidated with arguments that the scapegoat is hurting the young people. And they used it for witches, they used it for Jews, they used it for homosexuals, they used it for heretics. Always the same old thing. They're coming after your kids. And so it really intimidates activists and prevents them from speaking honestly about cannabis and teens because they don't want to get punched in the face by a hysterical parent. There's a lot of power in that type of scapegoating. But it's the hardest job in pot activism, but it's the job we got to do now, now that all the other jobs are done.
I really think you're a good activist to look up to because you're an activist of many different sorts. You're active online, you have websites, you start your own campaigns, you are politically active, which is very important. Doing things like going to your local representatives and making your opinions heard is very important, one of the most effective ways of getting the message across. Why do you think it's important to do things like protest in the streets and stop traffic and create attention?
Well, everything should be done. Marching and protesting are ways that people with very little money can participate in politics. It doesn't cost you anything other than your time to show up to these things. And protest signs are cheap, and banners are cheap, and it's easy to do. And then sometimes you get attention, like, for example, in Toronto, when it's big enough, then you get another opportunity to discuss your issues. And people like Jody get invited on shows more often if there's rallies and marches like that. But it just doesn't end there. There's postering, there's stickering, there's stenciling, there's spray painting and mural building, there's sculpture, and there's, chalk drawings. There's many different ways to enter into a dialogue with the rest of the community. It doesn't just stop at marches. So all things must be attempted. Every opportunity to bring up the injustice of the war on flowers should be taken advantage of. And if you don't have a lot of money or resources, but you still want to participate, this is a good way to do so. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Potfacts.ca. I want everyone to check out that website, because that was the website I was trying to promote, because we are suffering from some myths about cannabis inherently impairing people and causing car crashes, and cannabis making kids stupid and crazy. And I've gathered a lot of the evidence to counter that mythology. And I put it at popfacts.ca in an easy to understand, easy to follow format. So
it's true. We have you on a lot.
For then.
You're one of my favorite guests. You're always so informed, and you always give such a great perspective
thanks.
on activism. You're welcome.
You're informed too, Carly Marley.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You stepped the game up.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Now we have another activist that we're going to bring on. What time is it? Do we have time to play a video before? It's almost 4:20. So yeah, we're going to bring on another activist that was with us marching at the Global Marijuana March. We're going to play some videos in a moment, but first I wanted to introduce Sinful Cindy. And she has made appearances on Pot TV before, but I don't believe you've actually been on my show before.
No, you've talked about inviting me, and I've always said yes, yes, yes. And so this is my first time here.
I'm really excited to have you here.
Nice to meet you too, yeah.
So before we get into the Global Marijuana March, just so our viewers kind of know, why don't you tell our viewers some of what you do in the community?
Well,
if that's an easy, I know that's a broad question for somebody like you.
I have a lot of titles. It's a lot of fun being me and doing all the things that I get to do. So, look down. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was high, but I'm high too. So. But I work for MJ Creams and Overgrow Canada. Those are my two main things at the moment. But I also been playing around with these pixie drinks that we're enjoying today on the show. We brought the passion fruit.
I'm like chugging mine.
They're quite nice, right? And
they're
subtle.
nice.
All the flavors. We only brought a few flavors today that you might be able to see.
And these are tea in these packages?
Those are tea bags inside of those packages, and you get to mix those, of course, in boiling water, and they're infused as well. Those are four of the flavors I brought today. Pixie has 13 mix and go flavors.
Happy 420.
Oh, yay. Happy
420, Doobie.
Oh, you smoked that bowl. Okay, good.
Oh, good.
There was a bowl pack there.
We smoked ours early like I always do, right? I never wait till 4:20, right, guys? Over there, they're pretty quiet, so it's a pretty good joint we shared. But yeah, I just moved to Vancouver recently, Carly, right? I lived in Kelowna for 18 years. Mm-hmm. So this was my first time here for the election as well. I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Awesome.
and I voted already because I couldn't wait. I didn't want to stand in line, but I'm going with my daughter tomorrow because she's going to vote tomorrow. So, yeah, there's so much going on here always. I've never been so busy in all my life.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's funny because